My name's Erin Mader, and I'm the program coordinator for the Pend Oreille Basin Commission. And we're standing right beside Lake Pend Oreille in northern Idaho, in Sandpoint, Idaho. And the Pend Oreille Basin Commission is a commission made up of 7 members, and their focus is to protect the water quality of Lake Pend Oreille as well as the water quantity of Lake Pend Oreille. And the reason that the commission was formed was to kind of give the community a stance on water issues in Sandpoint and on Priest Lake. So the commission oversees water issues on Priest Lake, Pend Oreille Lake, and the 2 rivers between them. And we focus on protecting the lake levels to protect the things that are living in the lake and to protect our economy, which depends heavily on Lake Pend Oreille and Priest Lake. And we also are the commission is charged with protecting the water quality of Lake Pend Oreille, which incorporates everything. I mean, we work on issues from wastewater dischargers to invasive species have kind of become a hub of the commission's drive as it's seen as just being one of the economic and ecologic biggest scares we have right now facing this basin. So the commissioners themselves are super motivated to keep this lake profitable as well as an incredible experience for people who are visiting here, and to protect all of the landowners' needs and the aesthetic value of this lake for everybody that lives here. As well as the commission itself works heavily with the marinas and with all of the businesses that are thriving off of the incredible beauty of this lake. And so we feel like the commission feels like it's in our responsibility is to preserve that for the people that are depending on this lake. The Pend Oreille Basin Commission is a community-based organization that is focused on protecting the ecology as well as the economy of Lake Pend Oreille and Priest Lake. And one of the biggest threats we have are invasive mussels to these water bodies. It would change everything for everybody here. The Pend Oreille Basin is completely dependent on the 2 major lakes that exist here, Priest Lake and Pend Oreille Lake, and the rivers in between. It is the hub of our economy. I think at this point there's not many other huge producers other than this lake, and people come here to recreate on this lake. It's the biggest draw, and there's not much else around like it. It's incredible, and people come here to fish on it, they come to play on it, and without the quality of this water body, we would lose, I would say, a huge part of our economy and our livelihoods. The health of the ecosystem in Lake Pend Oreille is key to the economy here. People are completely dependent upon this lake remaining how it is and preserving the health of this ecology. And invasive mussels would change everything. It would change the ecology dramatically, and I think it would leave our economy pretty well damaged that way. The Pend Oreille Basin Commission is focused on outreach in the community, and we are really driven to let people know about the threats of invasive mussels. And our feeling is that we're then supporting all of the efforts that the rest of the state of Idaho is putting towards keeping invasive mussels out by educating people so they want to take part in getting their boats inspected and reading the literature and how to prevent an invasion here. The Pend Oreille Basin Commission is driven to increase the public's awareness of the threats of invasive species, invasive mussels in the Pend Oreille Basin. We work with agencies, we work with the public at large and with marina owners, business owners, to try to increase their knowledge about invasive mussels so that they recognize the threat and are willing to embrace what needs to be done to keep that threat from coming here. The Pend Oreille lake is a huge lake, including the river, and we have a numerous amount of communities and towns on this lake alone, and it's really hard to find one common goal amongst all of these landowners and community members. But when it comes to mussels, once people know about it, everybody's on board with any action that they can take to try and prevent this lake from being changed dramatically. So everybody's anti-mussel. It's true. I can't think of anybody who, once they understood all the range of threats that these pose, that they're not on board with trying to keep them out of here for forever, hopefully. We're working on restoring back to those massive rainbows. We've had lake trout were introduced years ago, but they started to really boom here a decade or so ago, and they have changed the face of the rainbows, as well as our kokanee and the native bull trout population. And so right now I would say we're in a lull, but it's reforming. We're not eradicating, but trying to lessen the lake trout levels to a place where kokanee can thrive again and create that forage base for the rainbows. And we're also working on trying to get back to that clean genetic line of Girard rainbows, which have gotten muffled, so we're not seeing those massive. They're doing a lot of genetic testing right now in the area to see how far gone we really have become from the original Girards that were brought in here. They're not a native, but they've been thriving here quite a while. And this year, I'd say the rainbow catch was way bigger than it had been in a long time, but so hopefully it's good. Yeah, we have mysis shrimp that were introduced, and they kind of threw off things a little bit too, and they compete nutrient level for the plankton with the kokanee. It just would be horrible. The mysis are using up all the plankton when the kokanee really need them, and it's not worked out. Some places it seems to, not here. There was another lake that it was really successful on, and then they introduced here. And the correlation of them damaging, it still isn't huge. There was so many other factors here that were the lake levels, the spawning areas, the way we were changing that caused the crash more than mysis. The lake trout. Yeah, pretty much. This is at this time, probably the biggest lake trout eradication project ever undertaken that's been this successful. I mean, we're seeing some results. Kokanee numbers are going up. It's
liberal limit bounty, or is it actually some active?
They're netting. Oh yeah, and now the netting's because netting's catching different sizes than the fishermen, and that's kind of crawling up to be a bigger catch than the fishermen. But yeah, they've taken out a huge amount.